Hello and welcome, travelers from far and wide, on your journey through the realm of Teleria. This is Calebovitsch, and I'm about to tell you a story, a tale of Champions AI in Raid Shadow Legends. And this is a story that had its fulfillment yesterday when I was testing a thing or two after someone whispered something in Twitch chat. So, this is going to be a story about many brave fighters and many difficult fights. And this story is going to start with the tale of the spider. Yes, these spiders, then the spider's dungeon. This is a very difficult dungeon if you do not have the exact champions that you need. Might be difficult. So until the stage is like 13 or 14, you can just nuke the heck out of Scavag and all her little spiderlings. Thus, after these levels, you need some more sophisticated tactics. You need one of several champions, or rather several other champions, like Septimus, Cold Heart, Royal Guard, anyone who has enemy HP attacks, or massive HP burn to get those spiderlings really going and toasting, alongside some turn meter reduction for the Queen Spider herself. Unfortunately, for me, for the longest of times, this has been the most difficult dungeon to pass, because I did indeed have Septimus as the first legendary I opened in this game after several months of hard work and free-to-playing, but I had no Cold Heart in sight. Then after some time I did indeed get Cold Heart, and the way to go at this dungeon for me was to get several champions in a row. I also tried to train up my ultimate Gallic for some HP burn because I did not have a third champion and I do not have super duper endgame gear for me. So the way this went for me was my first champion to go was Arbiter, with her long legs, giving her huge speed, and her first skill of Mentor of Heroes, she gave everyone an increased attack and also whipped them up for about 30%. Next in line should be someone with decreased defense and maybe even weaken for the Queen Spider herself. Unfortunately, at that point, I did not have a Razin available for me. I only fused him some time ago. So instead I was using Fane. You know, the epic skinwalker that we have received in the next to last fusion with Vergumkar. The epic that is apparently better than the legendary itself. And her A3 was just perfection for this one, flowing style. Attacks one enemy 3 times. The first has an up to 100% chance of placing a bigger decreased defense debuff. The second, same with a bigger weaken. And the third one, doesn't matter, it heals the rat lady a bit, it does not matter. So this was the second attack, so she had to be fast, she had to be very accurate. Now, for the future attacks, I just had to have, this should have been higher speed than Septimus, Cold Heart, and Ultimate Gallic. So after her came Septimus, with his Holy Sword, dealing tons of enemy max HP damage to the Spider Queen. Next was Cold Heart, with something similar, also dealing some enemy max HP damage to the Spider Queen, but also decreasing her turn meter down to 0. And given that I did not have a third enemy max HP champion, I was indeed using Ultimate Gallic. Where are you? Here. With his Burning Rage. Attacks all enemies twice. Each hit has a 50% chance of placing an HP burn debuff for 2 turns if this champion is under an increased attack buff. And he indeed is from Arbiter. The problem with this composition was the AI was just bonkers all over the place. Because although Arbiter and Ultimate Gallic and Septimus were working according to everything that was that I wanted to do, unfortunately both Fane and Cold Heart were not working properly on auto. For Cold Heart, that means that she first fires Art of Pain, an AoE attack for all the Spiderlings and the Spider Queen, But Heartseeker is just her second attack, not her first one. So that is the first problem. But the bigger problem was that Fane's first attack was Flower's Tears, dealing 2 poison debuffs and decreased attack debuff for the Spider Queen. So this was literally undoable. So what I had to do was I had to manual through several of the first moves, like first 5 moves, and then just let it play on auto so that the HP burn on the Spiderlings would burn the Queen. And that usually works, as long as the first the decreased defense debuff worked on the Spider Queen, which is like 97% of the time, because there's always like 3%, even if she has insanely high accuracy, there's about 3% chance that the debuff does not land. So 97% chance of success was still very good. But then, unfortunately, a terrible tragedy happened upon my account. I opened up a man-eater. And with this man-eater, I had the option of doing an unkillable team for Clan Boss, for the Ultra Nightmare Clan Boss. And that was a huge deal. But for that one, I had to use one champion that had also decreased defense and weaken. So my first thought was, okay, so instead of using that Fane on Spider, let's use her for Clan Boss. Which meant, amongst other things, that this Fane, this beautiful Skinwalker lady, I had to drop her speed down to 112 because she is the quote-unquote slow boy in that composition. So now, if I wanted to use her in Spider, she would be way, way, way in the back, much after my other champions launched their main attacks. So that is also out of the question. Well, I did get Razin here, but Razin is of the red affinity, of the force affinity, and the Spider Queen is green on level 20, on the level that interests me the most. So he has a 35% chance of a weak attack, meaning he does not land his debuffs from his sheer skill of decreased defense and weaken, the same as is on Fane. So instead of doing all of that, fortunately, I had my second Fane that I've opened from one of my shards some time ago. So I thought to myself, okay, let's work on the second Fane. So I did use some epic books that I had laying around, because you need to get the flowing style up to 100%. So I once again did Fane the second. As you can see, she is not equipped fully. She only has like 2 speed and 4 accuracy gear. And I wanted to go for full accuracy, like accuracy chest, speed boots, and everything that had accuracy and speed on them. So that her speed right now is 205, her accuracy is 250, and I do not need anything more from her. She only needs to land flowing style on the Spider Queen. So I went back and I did the same routine, because it doesn't matter if this Fane has very low health, it only matters that her first attack goes on the Spider Queen herself. And that's it. We no longer need her. She's the first sacrifice to the Spiderling godlings, and that's it. So, as it stands, my plan of battle was once again down to this. So, I start a battle. I started on manual. So I unclick auto, and the plan is as it was. So the Arbiter is first with her Mentor of Heroes ability, then into Fane, going for flowing style on the Spider Queen, landing those debuffs, Septimus shearing a massive 1.9 million damage, Ultimate Gallic burning as many Spiderlings as possible, Heartseeker doing her, Coldheart doing her Heartseeker on the Queen Spider, leaving her at below 1/3 of health, and then just click auto and the burn should take its effect. That's getting back to the good plan, right? Right. So let's enjoy this barbecue for a moment, but this is not the end of the tale yet. Now that is a victory, although the reward is very lacking and I have to sell it already. Now, another thing happened yesterday, as I suggested at the beginning of this tale. Someone on my Twitch channel suggested that if Fane is not ascended, her AI is completely different. That is because if Fane is not ascended to her third purple star, where is she? Where is she at? Where are you, Fane? Here you are. Then her second attack, Flower's Tears, only puts 2 poison debuffs and doesn't put the decrease attack debuff. And apparently, all the champions usually try to go for decrease attack debuff first. Yes, exactly, Draconic Blessing. This is the same as your screw-up. So I thought to myself, okay, so I need another Fane to do that. But then I took a look and I saw that I did not ascend the second Fane. And that means that theoretically her first AI attack should be Flowing Style. So I went and took a look again at the Spider 20 dungeon over here, and I thought, okay, let's do this on auto. Let's see if it really works. So I went on auto and take a look. So the Arbiter does her first attack as she should, Mentor of Heroes. Then Fane goes and Flowing Style for the decreased defense and weaken. Then we have Septimus, then we have the Burn, but it is still Art of Pain from the Heartseeker, from the Cold Heart instead of Heartseeker. So the only thing that I have to do is allow her to live through the first wave of attacks, because her second attack is the Heartseeker. It decreases the spider's turn meter and health, and in 30 seconds or less, as you can see, the highest result is 27 seconds, I can fully auto Spider 20 for the first time. I do hope you enjoyed this tale of Champions AI. This has been Calebovitsch, and remember, if you did enjoy this video, click on subscribe.